Hi everyone, I'm Sandy, and I kind of did a little bit of a change in plans for the video today. I was going to do top books of 2021, and I just really, when I looked back at the books that I kind of rated 5 stars, there just weren't a lot of necessarily surprises on it. There weren't a lot of books that I was ready to say, yeah, you should absolutely 100% go out and read this, because a lot of those books were older. And so I'm switching it up just a little bit. And instead, I'm going to do another tag. And this one is the Book Postscript Tag. And I was actually tagged by Jim over at Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff. If others have tagged me in it, I apologize. I'm so behind on watching YouTube content. Not super surprising given all the holidays and everything going on. So if you did tag me in it, I apologize. But the one I watched today was actually Jim's video, so I'm going to mention his. And the original tag was created by Adam at MementoMori. It looks like in 2018. So I'm excited to do this one because I think it's a really good kind of one as far as reflecting on the year. And I'm just gonna fix my setting here. Gosh darn it. Sure, why not? We'll go with that. It's a good one for just reflecting back on the year, but isn't quite a top list. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it, and hopefully you like this one. So there's not a ton of prompts. There's only 9 plus tags and friends. So the number 1 is the longest book you read this year and the book that took you the longest to finish. For me, this is definitely the same book, which is Bleak House by Charles Dickens. This book is 914 pages long. It is absolutely the longest book I read. I did this as a group read with beautiful minutia and knitting books, etc. And Gina Stanier, I believe, is also in there, as well as a couple of subscribers. It's been a few months now. We read this for Victober, and it took me 6 weeks to finish this book. For me, this took what felt like ages. And what was interesting is I actually really ended up liking the book, but it really, and I think Dickens did a really interesting thing of kind of how he drug out the story, because there is some of that about talking about the legal system and kind of how things can drag on. And so it was pretty clever, I think, if you look at it as a play on that. But that is the longest book and the book it took me the longest time to finish. All right. Prompt number 2. The book you read this year that was outside your comfort zone. So for me, the book that I am taking the most acclaim for, or I mean the most, not credit for, but the one that is so far out of what I normally read. I have attempted to read this book multiple times before and never was successful. But the book is Dune by Frank Herbert. I was able to successfully read this before the movie came out. And I want to say, yes, sci-fi is my thing now. I'm going to go read a whole bunch of stuff, but unfortunately, yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Don't come after me for that one, but Dune is one that I read outside my comfort zone, and it did make me explore some other sci-fi writers, including Martha Wells and the Murderbot series. I also read The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury this year. So a lot of different kinds of things, and not quite as scary to dip my toe in the sci-fi world. So hopefully some more of that coming up. Number 3, how many books did you reread? Only 2. I'm not a big rereader. I just really don't have a lot of time sometimes to reread, though a couple of read-alongs and things had me rereading more this year. I reread The Confederacy of Dunces, which I thought was really lovely. And number 4 is, what was your favorite reread of the year? And for me, this was for Christy Fest in December, and it is Murder on the Orient Express. And I had not read this book in years and years and years, and there was so much that I did not remember about it. It was absolutely delightful, though, once we dug back in it. And of course, getting to talk with that group on on Discord, it's on Discord, is always a blast. We laugh and laugh and laugh and just make fun and just have so much great conversation. We also talk about the book, but it's also just a great group of people. It's hosted by Julie over at A Hungry Bookworm and Lil from Lil's Vintage World. And yeah, it's an absolute blast. But this was my favorite reread. Plus I get to show my really pretty copy again, which I'm always happy to do. Number 5, a book you read for the first time that you look forward to rereading in the future. So this one is a book that was recommended by AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. It's their favorite book, and I absolutely loved it and can't wait to reread it. And the book is, of course, Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. I'm enamored with Billy and his dogs. My heart broke at the end of this book. I cried after multiple times reading this book, and as a dog lover, this book hit all the feels. Absolutely can't wait to reread this book. I know I will reread it in the future, and yeah, it was because of AJ Dunn Reads and Writes. So yeah, wonderful book. Number 6, a favorite single short story or novella that you read this year. So for this one, I'm going to say it's favorite, but not because it's like this really fun and delightful story. I'm going to say it was a favorite because of how impactful it was. And the book is Minor Detail. And I'll put a book cover up here for you. I loved this book, but only because it hit me in so many different ways. I'll put a link up here to the video where I talk about it. It absolutely was interesting, but horrifying and graphic and intriguing. The first half of the book I liked way better than the second half, but it was one of those books that I thought was just really impactful. Number 7, Mass Appeal, a book you would like to recommend to a wide body of readers. Is that what that says? A variety of readers. It's half hidden in my prompts. So this one I talked about before. It's one of my 5-star reads from my 1001 book countdown. And this book is The Tin Flute by Gabrielle Roy. I loved the characters in this book so much. It's another book that made me cry. It's one that has a character, I think, kind of for everyone. It is a story of as a kind of during World War II and of a family who is struggling, and it is heartbreaking and moving and anger. It makes you angry in parts, or made me angry in parts, but it is one of my absolute favorite reads of 2021, and I think a wide variety of people would really like this book. I never see this one talked about. I think Elizabeth over at Bookins and Books is why we picked it up. I did this as a buddy read with Shelley Swearingen and a couple of subscribers. It's been months now since we read this one. Has it been months? My memory is so horrible, but this particular book was one that I loved, absolutely loved, and would recommend to a wide variety of people. So number 8, Specialized Appeal, a book you like but would hesitate to recommend to just anyone. There's a couple. I'm trying to think of what I would really put in this, and the one that kind of came to mind was a book that I really liked, which was Everybody by Olivia Lang. The one reason why I hesitate about recommending this to just anyone is it is absolutely a bit more liberal kind of leaning, and so if that's not really your thing, this might not be a great book for you. It was my favorite nonfiction, one of my favorite nonfictions. It wasn't quite my favorite, but it was close, reads in 2021. And it is one that has made me want to branch out more and read more nonfiction. I have picked up 3 other books because of this book, including Regarding the Pain of Others by Susan Sontag. So in addition to that, I have a biography of Nina Simone, and then I have another book by Kathy Acker. Actually, I have 2 books by Kathy Acker because of this book. So it really did inspire me to read more nonfiction. But like I said, it is definitely a little bit more left kind of leaning in some of its thoughts. So if that's something that interests you, this is one that I would highly recommend. I loved it, but I tend to be more liberal anyway. So, but yeah, Everybody, if you're looking for a really good nonfiction book. I thought it was going to be more heavily focused on female body types, but it's really not. It's focused on a wide variety of different issues. So yeah, this is one, Everybody. So number 9, reflect on your year as a bookish content creator, good, bad memories, goals met, favorite videos you made, etc. So yeah, I'm not quite 1 year into BookTube. I'm only about 7 months, I think, or so. Yeah, I'm not good at math either. Maybe 8 months. Into my booktube journey. My favorite video, I absolutely love doing the booktubers. I love tag. I thought that was just really fun, and my favorite thing to do is shout out other booktubers. I also really liked my 1001 books tag, and loved the response that it got. Those two are pretty high up there. I also loved talking about just kind of mental health and my upcoming break that I had in August, and how much fun, how much I was looking forward to being just away for such a long period of time. Those are some of my favorites. They're not always the most watched videos, but they were my favorite, some of my favorite ones. Goals met, I don't really have a lot of goals in regards to like subscriber counts or anything like that. I just am enjoying my 1001 book journey. That's about the only real kind of goal. And I missed my 2021 goal by 2, and am incredibly happy with the progress that I had made on that particular goal. And beyond that, I don't know that I have a ton of other goals. My goals that I set for 2022 were very light, mainly to kind of try and have a bit more balance in it. And I think good and bad memories kind of leads into good and bad memories. So the good memories, 100%, are all of the people that I have gotten to talk to, meet, buddy read, group read with over the last 7 or so months, and it has been an unbelievable experience. I think I've mentioned this before. If you would have told me back in May that I would be talking to people in Germany and England and Singapore and Australia and calling them friends, I don't know if I would have believed you. I have met one booktuber in person and hope to meet more. I have connected on Zoom calls. I connected with tons of people on Voxer, and just really love the interaction in the comments. It is probably one of my favorite parts of being on BookTube that I never guessed would happen. Did I ever think I would meet someone in person? No. So that is probably my best memory, is just all of that. The bad, I'm gonna kind of echo a little bit of what Marilyn Maya Mendoza said in one of her videos recently, which I'll leave linked in the description down below as well. She's very eloquent in talking about some of her challenges with BookTube, and the one that really resonates with me is the idea of feeling like you're good enough, of analytics. Analytics are not good for me in particular. It's very hard to go out and see. If you're not familiar with analytics, if you're not a creator, what it does is when you upload a video, it will tell you its performance in regards to the last 10 videos you did, how long people are watching it. It will tell you whether or not you've gained subscribers from that video or lost subscribers from that video. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It will tell you, engagement. It goes into a lot of detail. For someone like me who's just really a casual creator, it can be very emotionally distressing, I guess, is a great way to say it, if you care about that kind of thing. And it is hard to get away from. So honestly, I'm just having a great time, and I'm trying to not focus on anything like that, because it's really tough. It's really tough to kind of like measure success based on that, when all I really want to do is just come out here and chit chat. So I'm not very eloquent about that. I felt like Marilyn did a wonderful job of just kind of talking through those pluses and minuses of being on Booktube. But for me, the positives definitely outweigh any type of negative, and a lot of that self-doubt that I have around creating things, I just need to somehow let it go. My husband tells me that all the time. He's like, just let it go. Yeah, so I think that's really kind of the reflection back on the year. So incredibly happy I joined Booktube. So happy that I've made so many friends and been able to be part of this community, and just hope to have quite a long journey on this platform. We'll see. I mean, I can see how much work it is. I can see how hard it is to be consistent. I can see why people burn out on creating videos, and just hope I'm able to keep going, and see how the next year goes. So, I'm reaching. The last thing is, it says to tag some people. So I do have my jar, and I'm going to go ahead and reach in and see who I get. Like I said, I'm behind on reading or watching videos. So I am trying to get a bit more balance and doing 30 minutes of exercise in the morning. And so that definitely has cut into a little bit of my watching time. But yeah, so I am a little behind, but we'll see. Okay. The first one is Aaron Facer, who's already done it. So I'm going to put Aaron back in the jar, because the only reason I know Aaron has done it is because Jim has him in his video in the description, which I still have open. All right. We're going to go with Julie over at the Hungry Bookworm. That's the first one. Julie hasn't done a tag in a while. I adore Julie quite a bit. Like I said, she's the host of Christie Fest, and I absolutely love getting to talk to her on a fairly regular basis, on a monthly basis now, which has been absolutely delightful. If you're not familiar with Julie's channel, I'll leave it linked in the description for you, so you can go and check her out. The second one is going to be Margaret Pinard. Oh, Margaret, have you done this one? Margaret, did you do this one? Oh, no. Margaret might have done this one already. I'm not sure. So if you have already done it, I apologize, Margaret. But Margaret is also lovely. I did my first buddy read with Margaret this year, and it was an absolute blast. We have another one coming up in 2022. And then the last person is Rachel is Reading. So if you're not familiar with Rachel's channel, she is, I believe, also on the West Coast, which is where I am at, and is absolutely lovely. You should go check out her channel as well. I don't know how many tags she's been doing lately, but Rachel is Reading is the next one. So we've got, what do we have? We ended up with Julie at the Hungry Bookworm. We have Margaret Pinard, and we have the last one, which was Rachel is Reading. Those are the three people that I have tagged for this particular video. I hope you like it. It was kind of a little bit of a, put that back. It was kind of a little bit of a thrown together one, just to try and have something for you for this week. I'm still trying to figure out the best schedule for me, and it's definitely difficult. So we'll see if I can get some kind of regularly scheduled content. That's probably another really important bad memory is that I'm not good at creating content on a schedule. So, but as always, like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, everyone, thanks. Bye.